Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Zafar, and in this video we're going to explore the Snippets feature in Chrome. So the Snippets feature is super useful, and it's one of the reasons why I think JavaScript is the best way to start learning programming for beginners, because there's no setup involved, right? You can get started programming and you can write programs without setting up your development environment. All you need is Google Chrome. Now, on the other hand, if you want to learn Java, right, you got to first of all install you got to download the Java development kit, and you have to set up your Java home environment variable, and then you have to install Eclipse and learn how that works. So all these small things can present, an obstacle for beginners to learn programming. So snippets allow us to write entire programs in Chrome. So up until now, we've written, one line at a time, or, we write an assignment statement, we write a function, and it's very limiting to do things here in the console because you can't do, you can do just one thing at a time. So to access the snippets feature, I'm going to go to the sources tab. So don't worry about all that on the left. But you see here, there's two arrows to the right. We're going to click that and click snippets, oh, it's right here. If the tab is not here, you can click the double arrow to the right, and it will be in the drop down. So I'm going to click on new snippet to create a file, basically a snippet, and I'm going to call it hello world. So check this out. Here we can write entire programs, right, that we can execute at once. So up until now, we've only written one statement at a time, or one thing at a time. Here I can write multiple statements. So for example, I can do console.log hello world. I can do another console.log, and notice when I hit enter, right, it doesn't run this line of code. It just moves my cursor because I'm writing a file, basically. So I'm doing console.log hello again. And now to run it, notice on the right hand side you see control enter to run. So if I do that, notice the console opens up and we get hello world, hello again, right? And don't worry about this undefined. It's because our snippet didn't return anything. So here I can define functions, I can do assignment statements, I can create variables and practice all sort of things in programming. Even experienced developers use the snippets feature sometimes to quickly test an idea or quickly try something out. One thing I want to mention though, let's use the let keyword that we talked about to create variables, and I'm going to do, for example, let money equal 100. So if and I'm going to do console.log, and remember I can pass in anything, not just a string, so I'll pass in money. So if I run this, so I can either click this icon right here or do control enter, which I'm going to do. So we got hello world, hello again, and 100. Everything is good. But if I do it again, notice that we get an error, and this is very important to understand. We get the identifier money has already been declared. The reason why this happens is that when you run a snippet, right, so the snippet runs top to bottom, right, line by line, and then after the snippet is done executing, or after Chrome is done executing the snippet, it doesn't throw away the memory, right? It just kind of holds on to it, if that makes sense. So when we define money, it's not going to, after the execution of this file or this snippet, it's not going to throw this away. So when we try to run it again, it's going to complain that there's some other variable that's called money that's already defined, and it's from the first time that we ran the snippet. So there's a couple of ways to solve this, but honestly the most simple way is just to use curly brackets like this at the beginning and at the very end, just like that. And we can tab this like that. So don't worry, if you don't understand why this worked, don't worry about it, but in short, this will create a new scope, right? This will create a new scope that when the scope is done executing, right? When this block is done executing, the money variable will be gone, right? So this is just a simple way to get around the fact that if I ran the same snippet twice and I use a variable, it's going to complain. So now let me try it again. Let me run control enter, and notice it worked. So I can run it again, and it works. So all you need is these curly brackets to avoid the annoying issue that it tells you a variable is already defined. So here we can write, functions. So let's, I can write a function, and I'm going to call it message, and maybe this function takes a message. And so to not be confusing, I'll call my function message function. and I have a message, and then I'm just going to do console.log, here is your message. And I'm going to add message. So basically I can write entire functions, and maybe I can call this message function with hi, my name is Zafar. Right? And now I can do Control Enter, and notice the whole program runs top to bottom. And these snippets are saved in Chrome, so you can take notes and come back to them later. One thing to mention about notes or comments, in JavaScript, we do these double slashes forward to write a comment. And comments don't get executed by the runtime, right? So I can write anything here, right? And I can run it, and that's totally fine. So this will totally be ignored by the runtime. But its comments are used to maybe explain if there's like a complicated code that's hard to read. Comments are used to explain code in simpler English terms. If you need a multiple line comment, you can either do this again and have like multiple lines like that, or you can do this. So I can do a / star and then * / to end the comment, and anything in between here is treated as a comment. So this is a multi-line comment. So in this video we talked about the snippets feature in Chrome, which is super useful. It's pretty much your entire development environment right here, and you don't need to install anything else. So in future videos we're going to use the snippets feature to write bigger and more interesting programs. Don't forget to like and subscribe for new videos every day.